getting emotional. I was a kid enjoying, and I never cried. Funny thing, I never cried. Whenever my brother was being shaved, I knew I'm next, but I never cried. I just sat there patiently waiting, and I was never beaten or even remember what they said or did. We actually have a lot of problems in our lives for us to be focusing on yours. I forgave her. I thought about it for a while. I was very spiteful towards her, but I forgave her because at the end of the day, we are all sinners and we have fallen short of God's glory, and we are all seeking for forgiveness. Whenever you feel, because I believe a mother has instincts, whenever you feel this is just getting a bit extreme, go and take action. Don't ignore like this mother ignored. With every phase of life comes a challenge. You don't have to die for you to leave a mark. You don't have to kill your child for her to leave a mark. I won't say that this episode is exciting, that I hated adult clothes, absolutely. But my hair grew in patches. So there was a section that had a lot of hair, another section had a strand or two, another section had 4 or 5. It was very crazy and very confused. I was very confused and bewildered, like, you guys think I have a coat? Aren't you supposed to like have the coat? You're the adult here, I'm just a child. What are you saying? A coat? Once you want to market a certain product to the people, you have to put it out in such a way that it benefits the consumer, even though it doesn't. And a few days back I asked her, will you actually do them again? And she said, I will never do such a thing.
Do such a thing.
She said it's better for her to go bald than actually do temporary locks, because that is the only way she is going to forgive herself. Otherwise, she will always carry the guilt each and every day, knowing that it is because of her that this girl, her baby girl, died. And everyone was doing locks. Locks were deemed to grow hair, increase volume, restore edges, all of which, to be honest, are a lie. On the way or on a path to actually grow your hair, I would definitely discourage you from doing locks. No one ever had thought of, let's do locks on kids. Locks were despicable even on adults. Hi there, it's Kerubo here, and welcome back to another episode. I won't say that this episode is exciting because it is soul-wrenching, nerve-wracking, heartbreaking, and depressing, to say the least. It is a sad story because how is it that a child, because I can't even classify her as a girl, a child doesn't get to exploit her full potential, dies at a very tender age, all because of the ignorance that her mother exhibited. So this is the story. A baby girl has passed away due to plaited hair. The doctor said the nerves were overpulled. The girl complained of headache, but the mother ignored her. She only gave her pain relief drugs and asked her to go and sleep. She cried till she slept off, but passed out from there. Fashion is good, but shouldn't be at the expense of life. Please, let's always avoid carelessness. And at the bottom of the photo it's written, a baby girl has passed away due to plaited hair. The doctor said the veins were overpulled. When I saw this particular photo, because it was sent as a photo, my heart sank. As a champion for natural hair and as a person who absolutely loves the concept of hair and taking care of it and tending to it as you should, I was broken. I was sad and I didn't even know what I would say in this particular video, because what can you say? What can you actually say? What is there to be said other than this is sad, this is disappointing, and no one should ever go through this, not even my worst enemy. I don't wish this upon her, because I can only imagine what was written in this baby's eulogy. She died out of overpulled veins. Is that actually going to be the case, or are they actually going to write she died because of her mother's ignorance? I hope that her mother will actually seek the Lord, seek God, and ask for forgiveness, because that is the only way she is going to forgive herself. Otherwise, she will always carry the guilt each and every day, knowing that it is because of her that this girl, her baby girl died, and it would be very saddening and even more heartbreaking. It will be on the extreme side if this was the first one. Oh no, I hope not. If you have heard this story, please share with me down in the comment section, and I will be sure to know more about what exactly happened in this particular day. When you look at this baby girl, she's a very beautiful girl, and I'm thinking she lives in the American countries and so forth and so on. So at this particular time, I believe a couple of years back, either 2 years back or a year ago, there was this trend that came out and everyone was doing locks. Locks were deemed to grow hair, increase volume, restore edges, all of which, to be honest, are a lie. If anything, locks recede the hairline because of the pulling that your hair has to undergo during the retouching process. And also, having your hair in for 6 months does actually result in breakage. And when it comes to volume, that just has to be a lie, because ain't no way are you going to pull hair strands from the root. You know, growth occurs from the root. So once you start pulling all those hair strands from the root and crocheting them back in, because that's how locks are done, or trying to twist them back up, what happens is whatever growth had happened like this, it starts breaking off. So your hair thins because the volume is reduced. And that is actually the truth behind all kinds of locks. There are people who still do locks. There are people who have permanent locks. I have nothing against you, but if you're on the way or on a path to actually grow your hair, I would definitely discourage you from doing locks. If you have to do them, just keep them in for a month or so, or 2, then take them off. A friend of mine did temporary locks for a year or so, and she regretted doing them. And a few days back, I asked her, will you actually do them again? And she said, I will never do such a thing.
Do such a thing.
She said it's better for her to go bald than actually do temporary locks. And right now, they're not trending. 2 years in, people have discovered the deception behind them. I think, in my own opinion, that they were trying to push out hair products, and these particular hair products were the ones that were being pushed out. So once you want to market a certain product to the people, you have to put it out in such a way that it benefits the consumer, even though it doesn't. And that is true about a vast number of products we use in our daily lives. But I digress. Let's focus on this girl. She is light-skinned from what I have seen in this particular photo. And on this particular day, as I was trying to think about what exactly transpired, she went with her mom to the salon. Something that they have been doing not once, not twice, multiple times. And at this particular time, being a tender-headed, I believe she is a tender-headed, she was. It's still so hard to even think about it. At the salon, she kept on fidgeting and crying. Of course, you know, tender-headed people are actually very uncomfortable when touch their hair. And this was the case for this baby. So her mother said, of course, this is not the first time that we are here, and this is not the first time that she's fidgety or what have you. So let's just go with it, and she's going to adapt. And eventually, the pain, after she has been braided, she goes home, the pain will go away, because that is what has been happening essentially. And I do understand up to that point. But what I do not understand is why the mother would actually let her child go to sleep while she's in tears. The baby was crying the moment she got home, and she kept on saying that, I'm feeling so much pain. You know, I'm just trying to picture what happened. And she's saying, Mom, I'm in so much pain. And she keeps on crying, and the mother ignores her time and time again and keeps on saying, you know what, you'll get used to it, you'll adapt to it. But this is a baby, and babies don't even know what's happening. In her case, she might be 3 years old or 4. And when I was 4 years old, majority of the time, if not all the time, I never knew what was happening. I remember this one time I got an outfit. My mom got me this very cute dress that had a detached half coat. So the coat was not attached to the dress, it was separate, but it looked like the dress. And it was gorgeous. Everybody loved it. I took a photo of myself in the coat and the dress, standing with my uncle. I don't even remember taking that photo. That just shows how much unaware kids are majority of the time. So I took this photo, and after I had taken this photo, I lost this coat that particular day. And when they asked me going home, where is your coat? I kept on looking at my mom like, did I actually have a coat? What do you mean a coat? What is a coat? I was very confused and bewildered, like, you guys think I have a coat? Aren't you supposed to like have the coat? You're the adult here, I'm just a child. What are you saying, a coat? So this kid, what I want to say when it comes to awareness, this kid doesn't know what is happening majority of the time, right? So as a parent, why should you impress upon her this heavy hairstyle to make her look good, so that she gets complimented by her friends, by other parent friends of yours, by relatives, by other school-going parents and children, by other teachers? Why is it that you want to force your child to experience such severe pain at the expense of her health? Why is it that you cannot let this kid be a kid? Kids just want to play, eat, go to sleep, and when it's morning again, we wake up and repeat that. Eat, play, and go to sleep. That's it. We don't know what time it is. We don't care who is talking to us and at what time. We don't listen majority of the time. That's why you have to keep on repeating it multiple times, and we just want to have fun at the end of the day. I do also remember when I was a child that I hated adult clothes. Absolutely, like, oh, that looks very motherly. I wouldn't be caught dead wearing my mother's outfit, or even trying to make a mini me of what she was wearing, you know. But today, in the current generation and the current era, everyone is looking like the same. Like, kids and parents all look the same. We can't tell who is who. Kids are wearing wigs. Kids are wearing heavy hairstyles like this fox locks. In my entire life, I've never done locks, and I will never do them. Absolutely not. For those ones who don't know what fox locks are I think the heaviest locks that you can ever do on your hair. Why? Because first and foremost, you're going to start braiding your hair with synthetic hair. So you braid the entirety of your hair with synthetic hair. That is weight in itself, because that braid is not thin, it's heavy. Then you're going to reinforce that braid with artificial hair, and you keep on circling it from the root up until the tips. You do that to every single braid, and you have to tighten it at the roots so that it doesn't become loose and fall apart. So you can imagine the amount of pain this child was actually bearing. And I saw another YouTube video where a girl did fox locks and she lost her hairline completely. She had to shave her hair. And this kid, to be honest, in all honesty, doesn't want to look like her mother. If she is a kid like I was a kid, I never wanted to wear my mom's clothes. But her mother said, why not do a maxi me and a mini me kind of version? And this is where you force your kids to now be like you. They just want to be kids, but you want them to look like you. This is very selfish, to say the least. Very selfish. And I hope that you learn to let kids be kids. If I would go back in time, I would definitely record all that was happening in my life, because I was left alone to be a child, to play, to sleep, to think, to even get my hair done like a kid. When I was a child, during the school holidays, when we came home, all kids, whether rich or poor, all of us did braids. No one had weaves on their head. No one had wigs on their head. No one had crochet on the head. we all did braids. It just went without saying that, oh, you're back on holiday, go do braids. No one ever had thought of, let's do locks on kids. Locks were despicable even on adults. I guess with the changing times, people have become a bit lenient, people have become a bit receptive to them, but there is a reason kids should not have their hair done. I just think so. Personally, for me, when I was a kid, I never had my hair done for 3 to 4 years of my life. My head was shaved each and every, I believe, month or so. I had my hair shaved because I had a bit of a situation. In all honesty, when I was born, I picked up my father's hair genes. Absolutely macabre, because his hair is not the kind of hair you should put on a girl. It would really look good on my brother, but my brother took up my mother's hair genes and he had a beautiful fro. My mother usually says that when he was born, he was very hairy like Esau. I know. Very funny comparisons. But I, on the other hand, I was born with sparsely populated hair. Let me explain that. Hair naturally grows from all sections of your head, so that we say you have a full head of hair. But my hair grew in patches. So there was a section that had a lot of hair, another section had a strand or two, another section had 4 or 5. It was very crazy and very confused. My parents, they decided, let's just shave her head up until it takes the form of hair. So for 3 to 4 years, if not 5 years of my life, I don't remember well, that just tells you I was a kid enjoying, and I never cried. Funny thing, I never cried. Whenever my brother was being shaved, I knew I'm next, but I never cried. I just sat there patiently waiting, and I was never beaten. I was never beaten or forced to like shave my hair. I remember right now that when I used to go to the countryside and I see my cousin screaming, he was literally screaming when he was about to be shaved, and I was like asking my mom, why is he crying? Kwani he doesn't want his hair to be shaved. It's crazy. When I think about it in hindsight, it's absolutely crazy, because I never protested. I collaborated. I was very ready for it. In fact, a friend of mine told me when I put up this photo, she said that whenever we went to the barbers, who happened to be my father, so the barber was my barber. Okay. So whenever the barber was ready to barber us, he did a good job on my brother, but did a perfect job on me, because my hair was as shiny as a new coin. I don't think she knew that right from the start my hair was very problematic. I did not cooperate. But if you look at my hair right now, I have a full head of hair. I have very long and very luscious and very healthy hair. I don't give it credit as much, but this is a hair that God gave me, and I am so grateful to God. In hindsight, I actually remember that I prayed for my hair once. I actually did. And it is not tailbone length, but it is long. As I was recording a video a couple of days back and editing it, I would actually see myself working my fingers through my hair, and the length that it had was just diabolical. Like, that's my hair. I could only have wished and prayed for it. And back to when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I'm getting emotional. When I was a kid, I had my head shaved all throughout. And I will definitely advise you to shave the head of your children. The hair is gonna grow. They have a lifetime to grow their hair. They have a lifetime to do all these hairstyles. So shave it when they're still young, so that they can play out in the mud, play out in the soil, play out in the dust, play out in the leaves and the trees and what have you. They can go wherever they want to go and come back, and you just do a thorough washing, you know, from head to toe, and it's very therapeutic, by the way. There are very many benefits that come with washing your hair from head and, you know, going down as you're showering. If you cannot shave the head of your child, put up a fro. Like, just put a fro on your hair, on your kid's hair, and try and maintain it. Because all these hairstyles that pull, you know, you can say that I'm just doing cornrows pull the hairline, ponytails pull the hairline. I don't think there's any hairstyle that doesn't pull on the hairline. And for me, I'm very privileged, and I thank God, because my parents did my hair. My dad shaved me for about 3 to 4 years of my life, and then my mom did my hair for the longest, up until I got to, I believe, class 7. That's when I started going to the salon. So my hair has always been cared for properly, and that might not be you. You just might not have the same ability as I did, and you might want your kid to look neat. The days that they go out, which is actually every day, you don't have to care so much for your kids' hair. The video that went out yesterday shows how my hair looks on a daily. I basically don't tie my hair as I have tied it right now. I actually thought of not tying my hair during this episode, but I looked at it and I was like, no, people are gonna think you're crazy. So tie it up and, you know, just look neat for this particular episode. But majority of the time, if not all the time, I don't do anything with my hair. I just leave it out, as free as it should be. Let your kids be free. Let them enjoy their childhood. Don't think of making a mini version of yourself on your kid. Let the kid grow, and once the kid is grown, a teenager and adolescent thereafter, you can do all these things that you want to do with them, because no life should ever be lost out of ignorance. Kids have great potential in them, and I was thinking we're a better product of the both of my parents. When both of their genes combined, they give a better version of what they were. That is how reproduction works. It gives a better product of what was before. So if this girl would have been given the potential to actually show the world what she has to offer, she would actually offer us a lot more than we ever imagined. Because even in her death, she was able to leave a mark. You don't have to die for you to leave a mark. You don't have to kill your child for her to leave a mark. You just have to pray for your kid. You know, you're thinking, oh, what will people say? Forget it. People will always say something. But at the end of the day, when people now look at me, they're like, is this the girl who had such atrocious hair when she was a kid? This is absolutely good. I mean, I've learned ways in which I can take care of my hair, and kids will learn. They will grow up. They're very intelligent. Gen Beta is just taking the world like AI. They will learn of better ways to tend to their hair, and even if they don't learn, you can take care of their hair when they're grown up, when they don't feel the pain, because they cannot bear that pain. When they're kids, they cannot bear it. They're just children. They have not fully developed when it comes to understanding what is happening or even persevering the pain. There's a reason as to why you as a mother in 20s, 30s, 40s can have cramps and you won't die, even if you don't use antibiotics or what have you. But a kid cannot have cramps. A kid can't get her period because she's not going to persevere the pain. With every phase of life comes a challenge. And at this particular point in time, the only challenge this kid should have is to know who her grandparent is, who her uncle is, who her friends are, what their names are, because figuring out names, even for you as an adult, is difficult. In a group of 5 people, you hear this is Pauline, this is Emma, this is Jason, this is Jeremy. By the time you're getting to Blessing, you've forgotten who Pauline is. You don't even know what her name is. You're like, oh my days, I just remember Blessing. It is the last person who said her name. So what more does a kid need to know? What more does a kid actually have to understand before they fully recognize what they're doing or even where they are? It's a lot. It's a vast and very huge gap that a kid has in their mind at this particular age. Let kids be kids. Pray for them. Don't worry about how they look when they're kids. They're gonna grow up and we are not even gonna remember how they used to look. People don't care majority of the time how your kids are looking or even remember what they said or did. We actually have a lot of problems in our lives for us to be focusing on yours. And I thought we just need to debunk this particular story. I hope that it has opened your eyes to a different trajectory of how you view girls, especially. Girls are very susceptible to fashion, to beauty, to the trends of this world, and oh my days, you just have to take care of them. Just understand that they're kids, they'll grow up and you'll do all these other things that you want to do with them. Pray for them, leave them in God's hands and take care of them the best way you know possible. Don't ignore their cries. Don't leave them out in the desert without water. Whenever you feel, because I believe a mother has instincts, whenever you feel this is just getting a bit extreme, go and take action. Don't ignore like this mother ignored. I hope that she forgives herself. I forgave her. I thought about it for a while. I was very spiteful towards her, but I forgave her because at the end of the day, we are all sinners and we have fallen short of God's glory and we are all seeking for forgiveness. So the best you can do is forgive yourself. Learn from this. If you're a mother, if you're a girl, if you're an aspiring mother, if you're a sister, if you're a grandma, I hope you learn from this. And share with me your comments down in the comment section. This was a very sad and depressing episode. I didn't have much strength in me to do it, but I had to do it anyways. I hope you have learned something of value from this episode. Be sure to subscribe if you still haven't. Like this video if you have already subscribed. And I guess I'll see you in the next one.